Today we're going to talk about the Ferrari recall. We're going to go over an awesome DeLorean at SEMA and talk about what the new Rolls Royce Black Badge is. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, and welcome to the news portion of our regular show. This is something I've been wanting to add for a little while now. This is kind of topics that normally just get added to a show someplace and we kind of talk over it or kind of gloss over. And I think these things deserve a lot more attention than they're getting. So we wanted to make sure that we have something directed at whatever we're talking about. So today we had a short few topics that we can kind of quickly address for you. You can check out for yourself and let us know. Everybody seems to be loving this new format. I think it looks great. It's been very interesting to use it, and we actually had in-house guests. We're going to have some more people on. That's something I'd like to have some guests kind of on some of the topics that we're talking about today. So that's the thing, is we're going to keep the lookout for you and continue to bring out this quality content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. For those of you out there, remember that we're on Spotify. We're on Apple and on Google. So if anytime you want to turn those on and listen to a really cool show, we'd be happy to have you. Today, this is something that came in a couple of days ago. And I guess it's something that Ferrari has been working on. Ferrari has recalled 458 and 488 models for potential brake failure. This is almost 10,000 vehicles that are on part of this recall. And it's vehicles between 2009 and 2019. They can suffer a brake fluid leak. So that gives you a low brake fluid light. And if you have that kind of warning, this could result in partial or complete brake failure. So if you have the 458 or 488, this seems to be focused mostly on the selected limited models that they have. And the other thing is unfortunately right now, I don't believe there's any kind of fix that Ferrari has done at the time. They're still working on the fix for this. But obviously any vehicle that's performance-wise, you definitely don't want to have some sort of brake failure. So definitely contact your dealer if that's something that's associated with you, and wish you guys the best of luck in that. I'm sure they'll have a fix for it really soon. I can't be that big a deal if they're tracking it down. So the next is a great car. This was something, the DeLorean, the DMC Delorean, has had a very long history when it came back to, and it's kind of sorted, if you will. This history came back from when DeLorean was caught. I believe he was doing some sort of cocaine deal or something. And if you ever lived in the 80s, that was kind of part of life back then. Drugs, all that stuff was just, it was a really crazy time to be alive, but it was really fun, and we had some really crazy stuff that came out of it. One, of course, being the DeLorean itself. The DeLorean only was around for a short period of time. I'm under the impression that they're still producing cars somewhere, so I'm guessing somebody's doing something with it. I don't know if they're new cars or if they just do restorations, but that's something we should probably look up in the future, maybe get in contact with somebody about it. What really made the DeLorean famous was that the DeLorean was in the movie Back to the Future, known for its special construction that made the car specific for that movie. The funny thing about it is that in the movie, Doc Brown wants to get the car up to 88 miles per hour. And notoriously, these cars were underpowered and wouldn't go that fast, and probably couldn't make it to 88 miles per hour in the short time that they had. But hey, it's a movie, so it is what it is. Regardless, people saw the stainless steel construction and got really excited about the car, and it just became an icon. It became part of that history that we just wouldn't let the DeLorean die. Well, the group Salvage to Savage ended up taking a DeLorean and building it up, making it wide body and adding a little bit more power to it. And we'll show you a picture of it here. If you guys are out at SEMA, definitely check that car out. I was really impressed with the build quality of this, the look to it. They really nailed it. I think it would be awesome if the whole entire car was some sort of stainless steel, but you can only ask so much at a short period of time. But yeah, they brought the game to SEMA, and I'm really glad they brought that out. SEMA has had some very interesting things this year. They are really going heavy on the electric, and they are going heavy on trucks, which is kind of something I'm thinking it's just natural progression when it comes to this, especially older cars like the I think it was the Project X car They had a 57 Chevy that they had done a full electric engine on. And that's something that, I mean, it's just going to happen. It's just part of the future of what we have in the automotive industry. The thing is I want to make sure that if we move forward with these things, brands like Lamborghini and Ferrari are trying to get passes so they can continue to make V12 engines and make internal combustion engines that are so notorious for these cars for their noise and their sound and just the feel of these vehicles. It's part of their history, which is why I hope we see kind of more of a hybrid setup that goes on. But that's the thing is these, especially with 57 Chevys, the old car guys, you're going to definitely get some pushback on that. And I don't think it's wrong. I think if you're going to make a car, make it matching numbers, it makes it very difficult. But it'll be good for projects. So the thing is I don't want to take that stuff and just throw it away and say it's not part of the future, because if that can bring forth more production or more be able to restore vehicles, do more fun stuff with it, and it gives people more options, there's nothing wrong with that. So, I mean, a lot of you guys push back and put it in the comments. A lot of people push back on me when I said that we should have sort of a kit car thing that made versions of these old cars as kit cars, and that way you could rebuild them. This is something that's not unknown in the T-bucket market. A lot of the hot rod guys, you guys know what it's like. It's just part of that kind of new thing that maybe it's easier to do it this way than it is to do it the old way. That is not saying mothball the old cars. This is not saying take those old tubs that you find and come up and restore them. Those are going to be part and parcel of our history. I mean, Foose is out there at SEMA right now designing a car right now, so they know that that's part of their future as much as this new design stuff is. But the thing that I would like to have, and especially for people that are having the biggest problem, is they don't have as many options. So let's give them more options. And I hope that's what SEMA does for them, is kind of put them in that limelight. So the other thing is that there's if you're not going to believe this, there is a type of Escort out there that is actually making some waves when it comes to how much they go for. Now, back in the day when I first saw Escorts, you couldn't give a Ford Escort away. They were just not a well-loved car. People wouldn't even take them in trade. It'd be better just to sell them on the side of the street for pocket change. That was it. But one car that really didn't come to America, and when it does come to America, it becomes very special, was the Cosworth Escort. And that vehicle made an immense amount of power in comparison and became a huge part of the tuner market. The reason that the Cosworth Escort isn't made anymore is because they refused to limit it to the noise regulations of the time. And it was used in racing. It was a successful vehicle. I think the reason that it's not as popular as it was, not just because it was a Cosworth, because it went on the Escort platform itself, was because it really didn't get a lot of traction over here and wasn't sold in the U.S., so it didn't get a lot of TV time, if you will, which is something, hey, the DeLorean gets it, doesn't make a lot of power, becomes huge. Cosworth Escort doesn't do that. It's a successful race car and, races over there against Supras and very fast cars and does really well, but doesn't get a lot of bite over here because it's not well known. But yeah, that's the thing is I've been following the Cosworth Escort for a very long time, and now I'm seeing them in the $60,000, $70,000 range. And with import regulations right now, I'm going to guess that it's not too far-fetched to have a car like this imported. It's so distinctive with that long whale tail look in the back. So it's kind of a crazy car to check out. You should, even if you're not into that kind of car, just give it a look, because it is a car that's very deserving of it. And I would love to see this thing come over here and do a fight against some of the most notoriously fast cars around. I think you'd be amazed at how well it performs and how deserving it is of that high price tag, especially with limited numbers. It's effectively an exotic Escort. I mean, just think about that. That's a little crazy, but yeah, it's bringing it in. So I hope it goes forward. Last on our news tonight, and I actually say the one that it really excites me the most is Rolls Royce has introduced the Black Badge. We want to think of it as the elite of the elite. They are marked by a lemniscate, I'm going to call it. It's basically an infinity symbol with a line under it. It's a very cool symbol, and I love how they're marketing it. And it represents uncomparable drive and desire. And it's almost like these guys knew we were starting a show and doing some of the stuff with our events recently, because it goes along so perfectly with what we're doing. And I've always loved Rolls Royce. If you guys out there, the pinnacle of driving experience, no, they're not race cars. They're not made to do that. They're made to be a driving experience, and they really do. It's that upper level. I mean, if you want to go fast and you want to race, sure. But if you want driving experience, there's few people that haven't driven a Rolls Royce that would say, hey, I'm sitting at, I hate, and I really do hate it when people look at me and say, oh, well, I did the Rolls Royce. It's a little heavy and it's a little slow. And I'm like, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. If you're out there trying to race other people on the highway and not doing it for the full driving experience, and not that it won't run with the best, because it will, it really is based on the experience of saying quiet drive, smooth experience, and just the comfort level is through the roof. So the new Black Badge stuff is going to come in the Ghost, the Dawn, the Wraith, and the Cullinan. It's going to range anywhere from, I think, about $400,000 to $500,000 for one of these. These are very customizable vehicles. So if it's something that you're looking at, definitely stop and look at it as a gloss black Spirit of Ecstasy. And I'm under the impression that these cars are going to be, I'm going to say, pumped up in a way for they have the most performance for the car model. So the most horsepower they can get, the most torque. This is something I'm still trying to get some information on, but for now it's really exciting. And that's the thing is they're really trying to push this reject conformity and be an innovator. And that's just looking at the advertisement material here, just really exciting for me, because I think it's one thing that's plagued, especially Bentley and Rolls-Royce, is this thought process that they're for older people. They are not for older people. I think that kind of spinning it this way really does put it into that perspective of saying, if you're the kind of person that loves a driving experience, or you love this thing that's the next level, and you have the ability to afford for it, and that's the thing is why not have a dream like this? Lamborghinis are not the only things that should be on your walls. You should have something like this on your wall and say, this is the pinnacle. This is the elite of the elite. This is, every kind of car out there. This is kind of the top dog. And no, not the fastest, obviously, or whatever. It's just the power, performance, everything about it is it's just perfect for a driving experience. So you're going to have a car that you're going to take out to the track, feel free. But that thing is if it's me and I'm saying this is the car of the 10 of 10, it's definitely going to be Rolls Royce. And I think with this Black Badge, I was very skeptical at first, but then the more I look into it, I really do think they're looking for that 11 of 10 for their score. And that's the thing is I think they may have actually pulled it off this time. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Hopefully we'll get a chance to check out one in person soon enough and be able to show it to you. But until then, that is the news for us today. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to continue to bring you everything we have. We have some great events this weekend. I don't want to give too much away, but when we're done, we're going to have a couple of live streams. We're going to have a couple of events that we cover, and a lot of stuff that's very exciting for me. So stay tuned to the channel if you haven't subscribed. And if you love the sound of cars driving away from events in a very loud way, which I know a lot of you guys are definitely dropping on, this is the channel for you. We'll talk to you guys soon. Don't forget to take your cars out, drive them, make it a great day, and we'll look forward to you seeing you next time.